A helicopter crashed and burned this afternoon near Benton Crossing Road. Now, according to a press release from the Mono County Sheriff's Office, at approximately 12:30 p.m., the Mono County Sheriff's Department dispatch received a call regarding a possible helicopter crash near Benton Crossing Road, with reports that the helicopter was on fire. According to the press release, personnel from the Mono County Sheriff's Department, Mammoth Lakes Police Department, CHP, as well as Mammoth Lakes Fire Department, Long Valley Fire Department, and Mono County paramedics were dispatched to the scene. Now, upon arrival, it was confirmed that a helicopter had crashed near Benton Crossing Road and Deer Springs Road. There were 2 occupants in the helicopter. According to the press release, they were airlifted via a Mammoth Yosemite Airport helicopter back to Mammoth Yosemite Airport and then taken by ambulance to Mammoth Hospital for treatment. Now, the press release says the crash caused a small brush fire that was being attended to this afternoon at news time by local fire agencies. Now, the cause of the crash has yet to be determined, and the press release states it is currently under investigation by the FAA. Well, Bennett Kessler filed the following report. The Los Angeles Department of Water and Power, accused of an accelerated search for every drop of water in the eastern Sierra, now does not want to put water into the McNally Ponds, which is a required enhancement mitigation project in Laws north of Bishop. The Inyo Water Commission recommends that the Inyo County Board of Supervisors support supplying the ponds with water from river diversions. Now, earlier in September, LADWP officials announced that they would ask the Inyo LA Standing Committee to reduce the water supply to the McNally Ponds, which were designed to mitigate major groundwater pumping in the 1980s, which destroyed whole areas of vegetation. The long-term water agreement says that the Inyo supervisors and LADWP, working through the Standing Committee, must agree to modifications of mitigation projects before changes happen. Now, when they met last week, the Inyo Water Commission recommended that the ponds be supplied with river water this year and that LADWP compensate Inyo County for past years when they did not supply the ponds with water and failed to get permission. Now, a report to the Water Commission says that LADWP's annual Owens Valley report for 3 runoff years between 2007 and 2010 reveals that LA did not supply water to the McNally Ponds. The report also says, quote, "It is probable that LADWP violated the water agreement in these years and perhaps others by decreasing the water supplied to the project without the agreement of the Board of Supervisors," end quote. As for the possible use of pumped water for the McNally Ponds, the Water Department report says that, quote, "Vegetation and water table conditions in the area are in poor shape and additional pumping would exacerbate these conditions," end quote. Now, in the long-term water agreement, LADWP agreed to provide water to the McNally Ponds and to an area southeast of the Laws area. Now, earlier, Water Director Bob Harrington said that DWP has claimed that dry conditions have led to their request not to water McNally. Now, this issue will go to the Inyo County Board of Supervisors next Tuesday and apparently onto the Standing Committee where they'll have a meeting next Wednesday. Well, Inyo County Sheriff Bill Lutz has confirmed that a bomb scare in Lone Pine led to the evacuation of an entire block around the post office last Friday. Lone Pine postal workers had discovered 2 cylindrical packages with no postage and covered with strange writings and swastikas. As Sheriff Lutz said, these suspicious packages could have held as many as 10 or 12 sticks of dynamite each. Postal workers thought about it and finally called the Sheriff's Department. A deputy responded. Now, because of the potential and significant damage that could have resulted from what the packages might have been, deputies evacuated the block around the post office, including the pharmacy and residences. Now, explosive expert for the Inyo County Sheriff's Office, Dennis Baycock, he responded. Sheriff Lutz said Baycock removed the packages and blew them up. The inside of the packages turned out to be bizarre writings, according to the sheriff. Sheriff Lutz said this incident also activated a code red on the evacuation and on the emergency. Well, special closed session over bankruptcy issues will continue with the Mammoth Lakes Town Council. Bennett Kessler filed this report. They plan to meet in private this evening before their regular meeting, and now they have scheduled yet another special closed session for Thursday. Now, that was originally scheduled for tomorrow morning, but is now scheduled for 6 p.m. Thursday. Assistant Town Manager Mariana Marashiva Martinez said that the town is taking final resolution of the $43 million debt, quote, one day at a time, end quote. Martinez said that she could not reveal any new details on the settlement yet. She said that she does not know how long the process will take and that the council continues to schedule special closed sessions so that, quote, can make sure they address the issues, end quote. Now, the assistant town manager said that the sessions are allowing the town council to actively work through a number of documents. She said that as soon as the final documentation comes together, the Mammoth Lakes Town Council will then be able to address that. Now, it was nearly a month ago that the town of Mammoth Lakes announced a tentative agreement to settle the $43 million court judgment debt. The resolution is with both Mammoth Lakes Land Acquisition and Terry Ballas, holder of at least part of the still active development agreement at Mammoth Yosemite Airport. Now, that August press release on the settlement said that the negotiated deal would address all development agreement contract breaches which were the subject of the original lawsuit. Now, in August, the town said the parties had reached an agreement on the amount and terms signed, a term sheet containing the settlement's key point. Now, officials did make it clear that of all the details would remain confidential until all are, quote, fully documented and executed. Well, a good special day is coming up this Saturday in Mammoth. It's a celebration marking the completion of a series of what a press release states of our important federally, state, and locally funded trail projects and the official grand opening of the Mammoth Lakes Trail System and the agency partnerships that support it. All activities are free and open to the public. Now, the Inyo National Forest, Town of Mammoth Lakes, Eastern Sierra Interpretive Association, and the Mammoth Lakes Trails and Public Access Foundation, they've teamed up to commemorate this occasion with the MLTS tours, Summer of Stewardship, volunteer trail projects, and demonstrations of the new MLTS website, and that is mammothtrails.org. Now, that's going to be from 2 o'clock until 4 o'clock this Saturday afternoon with a ribbon cutting and dedication ceremony at the Mammoth Lakes Welcome Center, and that's located at 2510 Main Street. Now, several noteworthy long-term trails projects are to be honored on October 20th, 2012, and these include the completion of the Lakes Basin Path and the wayfinding and interpretive signage installed along various town paths, including the Lakes Basin Path. Now, that Lakes Basin Path was conceived in the mid-1990s with planning funds appropriated in 2000, the ambitious $11 million project to construct a 5.3-mile Class 1 bike path in the Mammoth Lakes Basin. That began construction in August of 2007, opened to the public 4 years later, and that was part of a much larger partner-funded $17 million project. Just great to see these trails in Mammoth. And again, that ceremony this Saturday, 2 to 4 p.m. at the Mammoth Lakes Welcome Center. We'll be back with more news.